since we're talking free agency and skill, which that is I do think that's an accurate depiction, skill versus culture, a brutal warlord culture up there in Salt Lake City.
Gang.
Biker gang. That is college football's biker gang. Who do you think? So let's go outside of USC because we know they made a haul. Clint, go with you first. Give me your favorite or couple favorite pickups across the landscape there in the portal.
Oh, look, I'll give you what I did. I mean, there's so many good ones, George. I mean, by the way, I love the era of transfer portal. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that the transfer portal is so beautiful. And look, it's one thing that now you see like Brian Kelly at LSU, and you see Nick Saban at Alabama, and Lincoln Riley at USC. It's those guys. That's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it for those. I love it for those players more than I do the coaches necessarily. But I love the transfer portal for your middle of the pack programs. My alma mater, Arkansas. They don't win 9 games last year and really have a chance to win 11 if we're being honest. If they don't get Trey Williams from Missouri, a legit rush defensive end that can apply pressure to damn near anybody, maybe not Georgia, but anybody else in the conference. And then Big John Ridgeway from a smaller school, he stepped up and was a nose guard that changed the game big time. And this year they got a corner, and they got a wide receiver out of Oklahoma. So the transfer portal is it's so critical to your middle of the pack for right now Power 5 football teams. And it's so crucial for your individuals that are great players that just get stuck in a bad spot. A coach leaves, the Spencer Rattler, things don't go according to plan. You got to transfer. It's a second opportunity for dudes. So I absolutely love the transfer portal. But I went with the schools that are getting more than one. George, I mean, there's so many good transfers. I went with the schools that are getting more than one. We talked about Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison at USC. Absolutely love it. Jamar Gibbs and Eli Ricks at Alabama. Are you kidding me? I don't know much about the Gibbs kid, the running back out of Georgia Tech. I don't know much about him.
Think Alvin Kamara. Think a 20-year-old college version, Alvin Kamara. Catch it easy. First guy miss. Yes, I can go in between the gaps, put a shoulder down, but he's going to take pressure off of Bryce Young. Put Kamara up here on Gibbs.
And that's where I knew I'd heard it somewhere. It must have been listening to you on one of your shows somewhere along the way. The minute you say Alvin Kamara, I'm in. I mean, George, you're a credible source for me. I lean on you for football reasons in a big, big way. And now as a girl dad, I'm going to lean on you a little bit there. So keep that damn phone on your hip. But yeah, I mean, I just when I hear that, I think, damn, at Alabama with that talent. So Jamar Gibbs and Eli Ricks, corner transfers over from LSU to Alabama. I believe we had him on our All-American list. I'm not positive. I love those two guys at Alabama, and I got 2 more for you, but I'm only going to give you one because it's my alma mater. The Hazelwood, Jaden Hazelwood, former 5-star out of OU. Going to Arkansas in Kendall Briles' system with KJ Jefferson, where they're going to force the extra defender into the box. They're going to get you one-on-one outside, just like they did last year with Traylon Burks. Can you be that dude? And if Jaden Hazelwood is a former 5-star, if he can live up to even close to that, he's going to have a monster year. And Drew Sanders, an Alabama transfer at linebacker on the other side, replacing Grant Morgan. I don't know if he can piss the drop in terms of tackling folks, but guys, I'm gonna tell you, Adam, this cat can run, this cat can fly, brother. And so those are 2
down in my notes.
Come on, man, put it down. I'm telling you, he plays at a different speed. Those are the 2 key positions at Arkansas where they lost game changers, X factors, and that's Arkansas' season rests on that. They win 8 games, or they win 10 and flirt with 11. Jaden Hazelwood, Drew Sanders.
For more Arkansas Razorback Hogs news, go to clintstoerner.com. clintstoerner.com for more Razorback news. Adam, before I get your thoughts on your favorite pickups, you yourself were a transfer. You're right there, one of America's blue blood schools, one of the most famous universities on the planet in Penn State. You're there, you're a player, you're recruited, you got brothers on the team, and one night you go to sleep in a Nittany Lion, and the next morning you wake up and think, I'm not a Nittany Lion anymore. Can you kind of walk us through just the novice fan mentally what the process is to kind of divorce yourself from this place because you had a realignment on goals or direction or whatever else you really wanted to do for yourself?
Yeah, it's a great point, and I think Clint hit it right on the head. Like, I love the transfer portal. I love the player empowerment. I think, in my situation, I went to Penn State, was a big-time recruit along with, fellow Field of 12 analyst Christian Hackenberg. We went to Penn State together. We're best friends, have success as a freshman. We're both freshman All-American, and I had some injuries. And then Mike Gesicki comes in, and everyone knows him, and, he's the starting tight end. And, I think when you think about college football and these young players, myself included, but tons of them around the country, to think that they're going to get it right with their first pick all the time is just kind of ridiculous. I think these guys deserve the second chance to get their career right and get it back on track. And it's difficult, when you're sitting in that spot and not knowing if the place you picked is the right place for you long term. So just having the option to go somewhere else. I ended up transferring to UMass and ended up being a 2-time All-American, called a bunch of passes. Like, if I wouldn't have had that opportunity, where would my career be? What would I have to say for myself? I think about guys in college football. You think about a Will Levis. Will Levis left Penn State to go to Kentucky. Totally changes the trajectory of his life. I mean, that guy's going to be a first-round draft pick because he got the transfer. If he was at Penn State, would he still be competing with Sean Clifford? You think about Quinn Ewers. I know he hasn't played yet, but if he was still at Ohio State, would he be behind C.J. Stroud still? And now he's going to get the chance to lead one of the most historic programs in the history of college football. So I'm a big fan of it. I think at the end of the day, man, if college football is a business for the coaches and the administrators and the media and the fans, it should be a business for the players too, man. And I'm all for it. More power to the players.
Adam, here's the deal. G2, like when I have this conversation about transfer or paying players, man, like the minute somebody starts talking about, well, yeah, how's the program going to do how's the head coach going to do if that, no, it's hell with all that, man.
Yeah.
It's about the players, man. We were all once players, man. You sign a letter of intent, and I get it, man. Your word is bond. I sign it. I'm committed. But man, when you sign that, like when you step when you step foot on campus, man, that clock starts. You got 5 years of your life, and you can never do it again. So don't give me no bullshit. Don't give me no bullshit about, well, the university may not be able to survive, or the coach may hurt his career, or he may not be able to keep his staff together, or the program may suffer from a numbers perspective. Man, I don't want to hear all that shit, man. The players they're kids. They got 5 years and never another shot in the rest of their life to play college football.
Right. And the other straw dog argument in that deal, you feel a particular way about the program, and your head coach feels a particular way about the program. A lot of times these head coaches, you played your heart out, you're an underclassman, you guys way went past expectations. He gets hired, 300% raise, he goes up to a big school, he can stop the show tomorrow, he's out. Before the portal, it's a 1-year penalty for you as a kid. You get there, and it's just like Cam Ward, another one of our young students down there in Houston. Cameron Ward comes out of high school, not big, not highly publicized, goes to Incarnate Word, wins their version of the Heisman Trophy as a freshman. Can immediately take those chips, cash it in, and now he's a starting quarterback in the Pac-12 in Washington State. I almost bet Washington State was never uttered during his high school years. It's probably never even uttered up until somebody from Washington State called, but now he has the opportunity. It always bothered me. Adults could always make a drop of the hat decision. I'm an athletic director at this mid-major, and I get hired tomorrow at a heavyweight. I'm gone. Same with all these head coaches. I'm gone. For a player, Clint, that'll be 1 year of your football life. You must sit or do whatever. Sorry to tell you, but you need to be loyal. Like, that is bullshit. That's bullshit. The adults can hop and profit. profit off of that
George,
success at a drop of a hat.
It's a crying ass shame how many grown ass men and women in decision making positions let that go on for as long as they did, and made it. And I'm not saying that the wild west in terms of playing players and transferring anywhere you want to for any damn reason. I don't know what the right way to do it is, but I know the way it was going on was dead ass wrong. And the ones that were holding us as players back were the ones that were, George, they weren't just making those decisions. That was their life goal. If you're at a small school somewhere, you're working your ass off. Why? To get a D1 job, to go to a Power 5. And when you get to a Power 5, you're busting your ass to do what? To go get a blue blood, to go get a job when Dabo leaves, or when Saban leaves, or when Ryan Day leaves, or whatever. I mean, they weren't just doing that. It wasn't like, oh, well, boy, I can go make more money. I got to do what's best for my family. No, that was your goal the whole entire time. Yeah. So, yeah, I got off on a damn tangent. That transfer portal and that paying players, that stuff right there, it was about damn time they started letting that happen.
Agreed. All right, fellas. I have no idea where we are on time. I don't too much adhere to that regardless. Adam, you're welcome. Extra innings over here, sir.